white. They are phenomenal. You know, when you get a full moon,
Yeah.
it's really bright. Uncle Tony makes the moon look dull.
That white.
That white. They are frighteningly white.
Okay, so what? Albino legs out on the water at the moment.
Yes, albino legs on the water at the moment. That's the one. That's what we're going to call him from now on. Good work. Oh, Uncle Tony got the boat really airborne. Andrew Bakey doing the navigational duties. That would have sent his spine through the top of his skull.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good though. He's just getting the job done and obviously feeling more and more confident and getting that rotation down-packed. So, yeah, I'll be pretty happy just to get around and have a nice rotation and post a solid time and just build up that confidence a little bit more as we head into the knockout stages when the lights go out.
When the lights go down in Wanganui town, we're going to be in for some racing.
There he goes,
So,
over the line in a 62.544. 62.544.
yeah, so Uncle Tony, well, that was a lot better run that time out. He had a few gremlins last time, track rotation, all sorts of issues, but yep, they'll be very happy with that. All right, so our next boat to face the starter will be, just let me flick through here, I've just got to, will be Kelly Manel.
Very impressed, I have to say, with your professionalism up here, KV. God, you've got information on all the teams, all the drivers. He's got a whole book full of some really, really random one-liners that you're going to have to break out as we get on through as well.
Well,
some beauties in there.
we're going to have to get onto that. There is no doubt about it, because let's face it, stupidity is key.
I think we're the men for the job too, if that's the case.
Yeah, it's one of the few things I'm good at is utter stupidity. Actually, I think it's the only thing I'm good at. I'll need confirmation on that, of course. But Kelly Manel now, Luke Manel, her son, doing the navigational duties. And after this run, we'll have a chat to Richard Bird, who's just made his way up into commentary. So Kelly Manel in crowded house. And now to the far side of the track with Kelly Manel. And we've got a little bit of, what's that, sign language going on in here? I don't understand it. Kelly has not nailed the hairpin. That time she did. That is the best she's done that hairpin all day.
A pretty cool thing for her and Lukey to be racing around together as well. They'll be loving life, and Luke will just be hoping that Mumsy can just hang on and get the job done.
Well, that's right. Luke was actually hoping to have the drive of this boat for this season, and Mumsy went, no way, boyo. You're, at best, maybe going to sit in the silly seat. And Luke Manel doing a very good job navigating in the girls' talk machine. So we can now hang a bit on him for being in the girls' talk machine. Kelly Manel with a 58.949. So Kelly Manel has gone 1.2 seconds quicker than her previous best time. We'll see if we can have a bit of a chat to Richard Bird here, mate. You spat it out in the quad rotor turbo. What happened?
Driver error.
Driver error. Wow, that is unbelievable that you as a driver actually said it was a driver error. Could you please repeat that?
No.
I don't blame you, because normally, what do you got there, mate?
Well, we're down on horsepower. We're down on horsepower. We're missing something. It's a beanie that goes over our air intake, and that's all our power missing. So that's part of the turbo impeller. So we're down on boost a lot.
Wow, so you're actually spitting out parts of the impeller.
Yes.
Oh dear. I don't know a lot about engines, but I'm pretty sure that's not how it's meant to go. So, well, mate, so where do we go from here? We're still competitive, right?
Apparently.
Fantastic. So I've got to say, that's one of the first times in driver history I've ever heard somebody say it was my fault.
You won't hear it again.
Right, no worries. Just wanted to make sure, Richard Burt, ladies and gentlemen, in the quad rotor turbo, as we now go down to Clayton and Mandy Tisdall in the Getting Sighted 2. This is an exciting boat, and Clayton Tisdall, an exciting driver.
let's see how these guys go as coming out for the 5th time today. So you'd imagine that all these teams are now starting to feel very familiar with the rotation, and lap times should really be beginning to increase or go down. So far the guys are looking really, really nice. Their boats just sitting nice and smoothly in the water as they come up to the top mouth fresh bend there and looking sharp.
Yeah, Clayton Tisdale, one of these drivers that can have brain fades, and Clayton and Mandy were working not together as a team to work out the track rotation earlier in the season. What they were in fact doing was going out and doing the track walk separately. So Clayton was saying the top island and Mandy was saying the bottom island was the top island, and creating confusion. Now they're working together as a team, and it's working beautifully with a 56.70. So Clayton Tisdale, some 0.9 of a second slower that time out than his previous best time. But it's great to see that the team Tisdale are now starting to work together as a unit. When if you've met the pair of them, you would suggest that they are units. Well, luckily they can't hear that. Hopefully they don't watch the live stream back on Ctas live at some point in the near future, because if we can get away with it, we can. All right.
You pretty much hang it on everybody, don't you? It's good.
Well, why not? You know, because I know that they can't hear exactly what I'm saying, and by the time they actually hear it in 2 days' time, when they watch the live stream back again, once it gets posted off your Facebook or YouTube or whatever it does, by then I come back and they've forgotten about it. They're Jetsprint drivers.
So you're already back in Australia.
I'm back in Australia. I'm safe by
the time you get back, all is forgiven.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So, Craig Shaw out on the track at the moment. Gillian Good. This is qualifying 5 for the Group B category. And Craig Shaw has had a fairly different sort of run throughout the course. Qualifying 3 was a pretty tidy one. DNF qualifying round 1, got qualifying 4, they got it all wrong way. So Craig Shaw and Julian Good from Upper Hutt, they want to be making sure that they get this one sorted out. Their last chance to qualify. Very wide up the top part of the track. They're very, very wide indeed. So the outer limits boat, the Stinger hull, sits very high out of the water. What's the split looking like? Yeah, not too bad. He's really opened that apex up into the right left-hander in front of commentary and opened it up beautifully, gave himself plenty of room, didn't need to knife the boat into there. The Group B category, all about keeping it smooth and fast. So Craig Shaw there with a 60.197, and so he has gone 0.8 seconds slower than his best time. So you can see the glare now starting to come out from behind the clouds, so that is the reason that we will be, after the Group B qualifying round 5, that is where we'll take the break, wait for the sun to go down behind the hills. It's hard enough getting a jet sprint boat around the track, let alone trying to do it with a guide dog because you've been blinded. Hey, what's the worst thing? I was speaking to a mate of mine, he's actually blind and he's actually a world champion sailor in the Disabled Olympics. So anyway, he says to me one day, he goes, what's the scariest thing being blind when you're parachuting? I said, buggered if I know, mate. He said, it scares the crap out of the dog. And then he says to me, and I'm laughing, and I'm thinking, I can't be laughing. That's a joke about a disabled person by a person who's disabled telling it. And he says, well, how do you know when you're going to land when you're parachuting and you're blind? I said, I don't know. He said, as you hit the ground, the dog's lead goes slack.
Oh, jeez.
All right, it is Greg Reardon and Dawn Herb, Inglewood. The boat is the Adrenaline. Greg Reardon posted his best time of a 59.2. He'll want to be getting that down into the 56s where Patrick Hayden has previously gone very wide into the hairpin. Oh, not too bad, geez, I tell you what, there's not much more of the water he could have used in and out of that hairpin, I wouldn't have thought. Oh, late. Geez, he knifed it in a little bit close to the bottom of the mouth fresh island on the far side from commentary, and was lucky to get away with that. Thought he was going to run off and nearly put himself back into the pit pool.
And really getting stuck in and using this qualifying 5 to sort of give it absolutely everything. And, well, I am a gambling man, and I'm going to say that he's going to get under that quickest time that he's done so far.
Yeah, look,
Come on, Greg.
he wants to get in under the 59.2. He's going to do it with a little bit of change up his sleeve too. So, not much change. 59.033, so that's his quickest time by 0.2 of a second. 0.255 of a second, we've been told by Ruben, the Grange Chust, the genius child behind us.
He does look like a bit of a genius, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Any mathematical questions, Ruben?
Yeah, we throw the mathematical questions at him, but as soon as we throw trivia at him, he doesn't understand it. Actually, some people reckon I'm full of trivia. Well, because it's so much better than full of SHIT, really, isn't it? So, all right, so it will now...
may be full of both.
Maybe full of both, yeah. I think there's a fair reason behind all of that. I don't know how it happens. Hey, after our dinner break, we're going to tell a bit of a story about Julia Murray here, the track promoter. Oh, actually, I can tell you now. How's this, right?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Julia Murray has been complaining about the fact that she hasn't had a new kitchen, right? Now, I've been here, I don't know, some 8 years, and I said to Julia, why do you need a new kitchen? Because I've never seen you bloody cook before, right? And in 8 years, I stay here twice, every 8 years. She's never cooked. This morning, guess what? Bacon, eggs, sausages, hash browns. Woohoo!
Yeah, good.
Yeah, she needs a new
now
kitchen.
she deserves a new kitchen.
Absolutely. So Buttercup, Daniel Reid out on track, Ben Sol, the navigator, the boys from Waitra. They've been in and amongst the top 3, which is where they need to be with a 59.26 as their best time. And Buttercup now coming into this all-important money maker, the hairpin. Not too bad in there. Lost a little bit of boat speed. It washed off, but didn't get it bogged down. Didn't lose too much out of it. So Sister is the navigator. And I'll tell you what, mate, Buttercup's belly makes mine look decidedly six-pack. Not quite that good, but anyway, you know what I mean.
You're saying he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Plenty of heart, though. Plenty of ticker.
Yeah, that's right.
Really getting it done at the moment. So he did get around that hairpin well, and it sort of set him up for the rest of this rotation, where he looks really nice and smooth and taking some fantastic lines around the track.
Yeah, it really is. And look, it's a 59.9, so 0.7 slower.
Surprising.
So the interesting thing, when we've seen it a couple of times already today, coming out of the hairpin, if you don't nail the hairpin and then you stab the accelerator, the boat comes clear of the water. And what it does is unsettles the driver, because obviously as the boat's pointing skyward, you've got no idea of your position on the track. So sometimes the boat might land a little bit crossed up. The steering all of a sudden grabs, the water goes through the jet unit and starts propelling you towards the light tower. We saw exactly that with Rob Coley. You know, so those sorts of things. Once you get that hairpin right, it's a lot easier. Sometimes you might see a boat come out, but the real problem started 3 or 4 corners earlier, where they rubbed the boat up onto the tyres, got the boat not sitting properly. Obviously, it starts wobbling as it comes off the tyres. Then they're trying to catch it, as well as remember where they're going as far as track rotation goes. And trying to feed all that information in at once in a split second can turn ugly fairly quickly. The next boat to face the starter will be Tim Edhouse. He's the driver. He's a mechanic from Ofonga. Blair Edhouse is still at high school, the high school student, jumping in with Dad. They blew this boat up at Hastings and rebuilt the engine for this round, but just not quite getting the jet unit hooked up with the engine at the moment, so they're a little bit down on the times that they'd like to be posting. Oh, very interesting line out of the start chute.
He's pretty wide around there as well. He's started off well and truly with a bloody hiss and a roar. But hey, he's hung on and he is into it.
Absolutely. Well, as he's coming into this hairpin now, you can hear the boat just sluggish. Absolutely sluggish.
So just sounding like it is a wee bit down on power.
Just not having the jet unit sorted out properly, just really... Not the boat, just not having any grunt, any push, anything positive about it really at this moment, which will frustrate Tim to no end. You can just sort of see that he's driving very smoothly off the gas. There's a problem. So he'll take that straight back home. Yeah, that boat was looking very sluggish indeed. That'll be a DNF. And I'd like to say g'day to all the slugs out there for doing the stuff that snails do, but without the helmet. Hey, ladies and kids, how many seconds are there in a year? You have a think about it and I'll get back to you. All right. So, so how many seconds in a year, kids? You can start figuring that out and I'll give you the answer after this boat runs, which will be Patrick and Jay Hayden. Paddy doing the steering, his lovely wife Jay doing the navigating. From Waikikamukow, these guys are currently #1 in New Zealand in the Group B category. Paddy Hayden going out very aggressively. BD's Tinting and Graphics. Aronga Auto Electrics, Colour RX Spray Painting, Dairy Tech, CH Allen Upholstery. Into the, oh, he's gone very, very wide there. Used the tyres like a BMX burn.
Did get around there pretty quick though, didn't he? So yeah, he did eat up a lot of the track, but he seemed to be maintaining his pace quite nicely, and he's still got the hammer down and really looking pretty sharp at the moment.
Yeah, look, he really is. There's no doubt about that. And you don't wear the #1 in New Zealand for this category unless you've got the runs on the board. So he's taking some very fine lines out there where you might suggest that a little bit further and it's going to come unstuck. But Paddy Hayden at the moment looking pretty good. And the time, a 56.735. So he's about 0.2 seconds slower than he has previously been. Now, kids, how many seconds in a year? There are 24 seconds in a year. January 2nd, January 22nd. February 2nd, February 22nd. All the way through to December. 2 times every month gives you 24. The real answer to that question is about 31 million and some change. I just counted them myself.
Thank you very much, Ruben.
Yeah, that's
another fun-filled fact for the evening.
Well, that's it. That's a fun fact. I was actually trying to claim that as my own, and you've gone and destroyed it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to a break now until the sun goes down behind the hill. So please feel free to make sure that you keep your rehydration station sorted out. Get yourself some tucker. Get down to the pit and paddock area as soon as we will announce that you need to get out of the pit and paddock area. We'd appreciate you do so. Remind, no smoking in the pits. We will throw out by your ear hole, and no alcohol in the pits. So, ladies and gentlemen, get down, have a chat to the drivers.